What's up, Tashi Warriors? No, it's been a while, but we're here with a tutorial for the Chibi's deck, if you will. A deck profile and a combo profile, if you will. We're gonna kick it right off with the warrior count. We're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 warriors, really 17, but these three are used as army negates. And there's one copy can be used as an army, other copy can be used as an army negate or a searcher for your draw for Oda. When you play Oda, you discard your hand and draw 5 cards. So you either, when you use this, obviously you want to try to have 0 cards in hand and still get the +5 or +4 because from the minus from him. But if you need to search for him, you can use her for when you normal. You can search for him and add him to hand. So 4 copies of Ugly Assistance, necessary in any beast deck. Omni Negate, like I said, I'll read the effect for you. If a beast class warrior is target or attack, you may discard this card from hand to negate their target or attack. Really good. Doesn't take up your defense card slot, and it negates instead of dodging or blocking as well. One of Duck. I want to in this deck. There's just really no room currently. Duck is the bread and butter in any Chibi's deck. His plays are just incredible. Then we get 1 copy of Judgement Unicorn, because we are in a Wingweaver meta right now. If you're not familiar with Wingweavers, they are very venomous spiders that poison your warriors. You play good old Judgement Unicorn, comes out, gives you +1 spiritual armor, and heals all of your cards with any battle alignments, whether that be burn, poison, freeze, immobilize, etc. Kind of a high task armor cost, but it's worth it for the payoffs. If he attacks shield type cards, their effects and abilities are destroyed, and he destroys them. Attacks for 2 damage, piercing. So if it gets blocked, the target can't be blocked. High key, how you shoot, and does bleed damage. The next one is Dooma. Arguably, I probably say the best Chibi besides Duck and Sval. Really good card. Does require 1 chop power on them to attack, which is this. You put the chop power underneath them and gives them the ability. It reads 1 chop power. Once per turn, this warrior may attack a warrior for 1 damage. Physical strike chainable. The defending warrior receives 1 damage at the beginning of their opponent's turn. So even if they dodge the attack, they still take the 1 damage. Really strong. Then he's limit 1 per deck, so only have 1 of him. Then 1 Rai, just because his second form is a good stall. If you get 2 chop power on him, his form right here, he can attack, and if successful, the person they attack, they can't attack next turn. It's a nice little stun as well. So you got a little bit of control in this deck, if you will. Then we're running 2 copies of Sval. We'll run 3 of a head maroon. This is your main aggro or attacker in the deck. We'll get later on to some combos with him, but he doesn't require chop power to attack. He attacks for 2 damage, jump kick, and for each chop power you do have on, increases the damage by 1. Then we get 2 copies of Savalley. This is his evolution, if you will. Each Chibi has an evolution, usually, and you have to place them on top of each other to evolve it. So to evolve Savalley, you place Savalley on top of him. Savalley has 6 life. He's at 2 spiritual armor costs, 2 body count costs when he dies. He attacks for 2 damage. But what's cool about these Chibis is they all have damage resistance for certain attacks. So like Dooma, the first guy that showed you, his damage resistance is area and air projectiles, do 1 damage less. Rai, the lightning guy, does strikes and grabs. So if someone's either using wrestlers or grab attacks or swords and knives, he takes 1 damage less. Even though he has 4, he probably won't survive, but it's still a good damage resistance if you add other cards that absorb damage. And then Sval, he has punch and kicks damage resistance. There is a monkey in the Chibis that has the same damage resistance, but he just hits a little harder because he doesn't need chop power to attack, so I'm not running Monkey in this deck. I'm running Sval. They're from the Water Country region, so they don't require chop power to attack. All right, so like I said, we're running 2 copies of Sval, and then 1 copy of the second form of Raika. His name is Raika. Good card. He's a 2 damage resistance on strikes and grabs, which is excellent. And then I have 2 chop power on him. When this warrior is attacked, target the attacker for 1 damage, aerial projectile, unchainable. So they take 1 damage when they attack me in this form. So it's a good stall. And then last, for the evolutions, we got 2 Salvators. We'll run 3, like I said, if I had enough room. But 2 for now. This basically your boss warrior of the deck. He swings twice per turn for 2 damage, jump kick, and just like his previous forms, when he has chop power attached to him, he attacks for additional damage for each chop power. All right, so let me show you guys the combo in this deck. So we're going to go back to Auraduck. We're going to pull a Savalley out and a Salvator. All right. These are all ice. Well, he's winning ice, and these are ice type Chabbies. So the combo is specifically with these 3. If you're struggling in the middle of the game, I usually do Savalleys, but you want to go for Salvators, big combo. But if you have to, you can go with Savalley. It's kind of costly if you don't have recovery in your hand, but it can go off. So what Savalley does is you can manage, well, not manage, while you have 2 chop power on him, through these 2 chop power on him, you can send him to the deck and e-call ice type Chabbies class warrior and e-call it to other zone, and then attach a chop power from your dead zone, which is your discard power in this game, and attach it to Auraduck. What's cool about that is when Auraduck has a chop power attached to him, he attacks immediately. And then not only that, your opponent cannot activate cards in response to this warrior being called. So they can't negate his calling. And then when he gets a chop power attached to him, he attacks automatically, even if it's outside the clash phase, which is awesome. And then his ability allows you to switch him out for another Chabbies, and that extends the combo tremendously. And it gives you like a free evolution almost. So when he does come out, either with his effect or him, I'll see the big combo later with him. When he switches out Auraduck, he allows you to e-call, like I said, a Chabbies class warrior out. But what's super cool about that is if I already have a Sval out or the level 1 of a Chabbies out, when his ability goes off, I can swap him out for a level 2 of the level 1 that's already out and place the level 2 over top of the 1 for free without paying any cost for the spiritual armor cost, which is really, really dope late game. It can surprise your opponent. And then the big combo with Salvator is he requires 3 chop power to do it. Remember, he attacks twice per turn, right? So you have 3 chop power on him. That's plus 3 damage when he attacks. So that's 5 damage when he attacks. He can attack twice per turn, right? So he swings for 5. Then his effect attacks for 3, and then you switch out a ice type Chabbies class warrior from your deck, which is going to be Auraduck, and then you attach 2 chop power from your dead zone to Auraduck, thus making Auraduck attack twice per turn that turn. Then what you do is use Auraduck's ability to swap him out for another Chabbies, which is going to be a Sval, so you can get up to 7 attacks with 2 cards that turn, which can be very overwhelming for your opponent. And that's the big combo you want to pull off with the Chabbies end game, mid game, whenever you can do it, basically. So I'm gonna go into the actual support of the deck. I'm running 2 Clash of the Beasts. Really good card. Adds +1 damage to all my Beast class warriors when they attack, and I get a Clash Gauge during my draw hill phase, which is really strong. Clash Gauge is a resource system you can use for card effects. Specifically, this card I'm using is called As If. -1 Clash Gauge when an effect or ability activates, negate, accept counters. So what it does is essentially makes blank cards on your opponent's side of the field. So if your opponent's using warriors that have attacks and effects and abilities that have attacks, and makes them a blank card. so they won't be able to use this attack no longer at all, which is essentially more effective than defense card because it just dodges that one attack, whereas this will erase their attack or an effect or ability, whatever it is the case may be. Very, very good card. So 2 Clash of the Beast. I would have 3 in there, like I said, if I had room, just to ensure that I have that Clash gauge to be used as if. But 2 right now is pretty consistent in the room I'm using, or the room I do have in the deck. We're running 8 copies of Chai Power. I'm thinking about going down to 7 because there's one game where I went into Oda and drew 3 Chai Power unbelievably. But I do want to see it. So it's just like, I don't know if it's 7. I've tried it with 7 and it's a little inconsistent. 8 is consistent, but it seemed a little too much. I might go back to 7 just to try it again. But for now, we're running 7 Chai Power. This what enables my Chai Beast to activate their effects and abilities and do my Aura Duck combos. We're running 4 copies of Chai Beast Professional. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Chai Beast class warrior and add it to your hand. No brainer. 4 of these, run the Chai Beast deck. Which is cool about this card is I can actually search for a defense card, which is Ugly Assistant, Omni Negate, so I can search her for this with this card as well. So yeah, must have 4 up in the deck, even though you don't really want to lose cards in your hand at all in this deck, but you gotta do what you gotta do for cards like that. 2 copies of Chai Power Recharge. This lets me get my Chai Power back from my discard power or dead zone. Really good card, especially late game with Aura Duck combos. He makes you lose your Chai Power, get that right back, attach it to him, so forth. 1 copy of Crowbar. I'm thinking about making a control deck with this card and Dooma with the automatic damage. You can arm this to your opponent's warrior and then blow it up next turn, giving them a body count if they're damaged on the warrior, and you draw 2 cards. I haven't got to go off yet, but it is a very, very strong combo. The other combo with the Crowbar that I have is with Professor Oda. While Oda's out and you have a Beast class warrior, he can't be attacked or targeted, so he can just be out there for free, minding his business, not taking any damage, no worries, and just swinging at your opponent for 1 damage with the Crowbar. And then when I don't need him no more, I can just blow him up and then draw 2 cards with Crowbar. Then this card starts in play. Is my Arena, Animal Country League Hope. This card starts in play. At the start of your first turn, you may search your deck for a Ride, Dooma, or a Monkey and add it to your hand. So if I don't start the game with any of these 2, search for them, add it to hand. +1, no brainer. Very, very good card. 1 Temple Binding Spell, limit 1 per deck. Target an element. Target a non-element when war your opponent controls. It can attack or defend while this card's face up. Destroy this card when the warrior leaves the field. Got him. 3 Divine Strikes. Divine Strikes until Lightning Strikes twice. Comes down in the beta set. Legendary item destruction, back row destruction, back row hate, whatever you want to call it. 3 in the deck. 4 Ninja Rolls. No, I'm not flexing my full arts, but 2 full arts. Ninja Rolls. Dodge attacks, dodge targetings. Nasty card. Calibrated Counter. Dodge targeting, dodge direct attacks, dodge attacks. Best counter in the game still. And then we're going to get into the Ultra decks. These are maybes. I haven't gone into them, but they're there just in case I want to or have the opportunity. We got 1 copy of Tierfinx. To call him, I need 3/5 life warriors on my side of the field, or 2 KO energies to KO summon him to the KO zone. He's definitely a game changer if he comes out. Chaizen Transfer. Once per turn during your play phase, you may -1 ki or -1 K instead of charging this turn. If you do, you may add up to 4 Chai Power from your deck or dead zone to your hand to get all your Chai Power back. Really nice. High flyer. This warrior cannot be affected by earth element type cards, including abilities. And then finally, ability Judgment Comet, -4 chai power or -1 KO. Attack all warriors your opponent controls twice for 3 damage, area unchainable. That should be Armageddon comments. Sheesh. 1 copy of him. Then 1 copy of Amber Dyna. Placed on top of Emberly or 2 Life 5 warriors. Charge and regain. If a 1 chai power where you have 1K or more, you may shuffle a chai power from your dead zone to your deck and place a chai power from your deck underneath a beast class warrior you control. Really good. Fire Beam -1 chai power. While Brilly is irrelevant because I don't run them in deck. Fire Ring Blast -3 chai power. Attack all non-element wind and element lightning type warriors your opponent controls for 3 damage, area unchainable, element fire. And then 1 copy of Ice Doppler. Ice Doppler, really good card. It allows you to negate the activation of a Bloodlusted card. This is an example of a Bloodlusted card. This card effect is once per game. You may send 1 card from your hand to the dead zone and -1 clash gauge to play this card from your ultra deck. If you do, negate the activation of a Bloodlusted card. So yeah, hope you guys have an opportunity to build this deck. Any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask. I will be using this deck in the 6-man tournament tomorrow. So I hope to see everyone there. Tassie love, everyone. Have a good day.